So guys, you're welcome back once more to my channel. In this particular video guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to cut this lovely Bubu butterfly dress. Not exactly this, but just how to cut a lovely Bubu butterfly dress, especially the one with the joining beneath it or the joining at the hemming part, in case you have been finding this difficult. So do stick with me to the end of this video so that you will get all the information you need to know how to cut a Bubu butterfly dress. So this particular cutting can be applied for both short butterfly dress and equally long one. Okay, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button in my channel, and on this video don't forget to like and comment and share so that other people can see it. Let's move into the video proper. Into the video proper guys, I'm going to be using this small fabric to show you how to cut this. Please take note, it's a small fabric, but all you need to do is pay attention. I'm just going to experiment it here. Okay, it's not difficult. Now when you get your own fabric, fold it into two. I'm going to be starting with the one side. I'm going to be cutting this on front and back. Okay, I'm not going to do it together, so I'm going to cut the front, then I will use the front and equally cut the back. All right, so at least a 2-yard fabric is enough for this. So now the next thing you do is go ahead and get the length of your blouse, get the full length of your short dress. So this is the back. I'm marking it with a chalk for you to know the back. So I'm going to fold this fabric now on the front. Can you see how I folded it? That is, the back is inside, the front is outside. That is what you would do. Okay, because when you are cutting a Bubu, when you are cutting a butterfly, you don't cut it at the back. It's mostly at the front. It's good like that. You can cut it at the back if you want, but you will get to understand the reason why cutting it at the front is also useful as we continue in the video. So now normally if you want to cut it together front and back, the way I folded this is how you are going to fold your fabric. Okay, you fold it one, then you fold it again, just the way you see me fold this. That is how you fold your fabric, so that when you finish you can trim out. You can just cut open the other side and you have a front and back. But now I want to use this particular fabric and experiment the front side. You can as well use the same method to cut yours, to save you making any mistake while trying to do double cutting front and back at the same time. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do is to get my top line. Remember, this is on the front side. This is on the front side of the fabric. That is the right side of the fabric. So I'm getting my top line that will help me gauge my measurements. So once I have my top line, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come down for my bust point measurement. Bust point is really needed whenever you're making a butterfly dress. It's really needed because it's going to help your shaping. You don't want a situation where you finish your bust side is not fitted, so you need your bust point. So I'm taking the bust point measurement, as you can see. Then after I finish taking the bust point measurement and rule it together, the next thing I'm going to get is my waist. Okay, the waist is also needed, but that one is not compulsory. You must not add the waist. But the reason I'm adding the waist is because of fitting. I, for one, am a slim person, so sometimes when I'm sewing all this kind of Bubu or butterfly, I like to give it a little fitting on the waist side. Okay, so that is why I will add a waist that is half length to it, so that we know where my waist is exactly situated. Okay, now this particular point you see me drag down here. Sorry guys, I made a little mistake. This one I took right now is the bust point. Then the one I drafted before, the first line I rule, is the waist. Okay, you can see me trying to label this. Okay, the first one I took is the waist. That is the waist length. That is the half cut. Then this upper one I did is the bust point. Please take note of that. So now to get my neckline, when you are getting your neckline for this, I came down here by 2, but for you as an adult, coming down by 4 inches is okay. You can come down by 4 inches. That is what I use for mine. But if you want yours to give you more good fitting, I will still advise you to do 4 inch, but you can decide to do 3 inch below, but go for 4 inch. 4 inch is better. It will not be too wide and it will not be small. It will give you a good fitting. So 4 by 4 4-inch down, 4-inch wide. That is 4-inch depth, 4-inch width. Do it that way, or you can do it 3.5 inch depth, 3.5-inch width. If you do it that way, you will not be needing to add a zip at the back. You will be able to wear it anytime you want. Your head will pass through it, okay? Or you do it 4-inch. Some people even go use 4.5. So that is for you to know. Now, this particular measurement I'm applying above here is going to help me determine where I want to start stitching my butterfly downwards. That is when I want to shape the sides. Okay, it's just like height, a bit higher from my bust point, because I don't want a situation where the stitching will start from my bust point exactly. I want it to be able to cover a bit. You know, when you start from the bust point exactly, it might reveal some part of your armpit in a way. So but when you extend it a bit higher, it will give a perfect fitting that you will not be revealing your armpit, and yet everything will be okay. So the next thing I did now, I'm doing right now, as you can see, I'm getting my dart. Okay, this is my dart. I just use 1/2 inch here, but as for you, you go ahead to use 1 inch or 1.5 for your dart. And when you do that, remember to add 1/2 inch above it for your seam allowance. Once you get your dart line, add like 1/2 inch above. From that point of the dart, extend 1 inch above that you're going to use for your joining of that. It is necessary. Okay, so after I finish rolling the dart, as you can see on mine, it's looking nice. The next thing I'm going to do now is to apply my measurements. So on the bust point, I have divided my bust measurement by 4. So I will go ahead and apply it. Now this particular one I'm applying on the bust point, the line above, which that line is serving as, it's just like, let me say, the chest height, or the height you want the whole thing to start from. Let me just put it that way. So from that particular line, we are going to still apply the bust measurement there, because that is where the fitting of this butterfly comes. The moment your bust is fitted, they are good. Okay, now you can see the way I'm putting my hand. You will soon understand what I'm trying to do there. I'm just trying to demonstrate something for you. So now I'm taking the full measurement. This is the full measurement of this. So assuming you are making a short butterfly dress, you will get the full measurements. Then you will now decide the part you want to take out, so that you can join your other fabric beneath. So you can see that I've decided to take out about 3 inch below. That is from the down part. Now I'm going to rule it straight like this. So I'm going to go ahead now, and from that point I've ruled, I'm going to curve it inward. I'm going to curve it inward, so that I'll go ahead and get another different fabric that is very beautiful and lovely, and make a pleat, whether I want to do gathers or not. Guys, I wanted to use French curve to rule this, but I discovered the French curve is going to be too curvy if I use a French curve. So I will use my hand and curve it in, so that it will just come out normal. I don't want it to start looking too curvy. You understand? So now you can see how it's looking when I use my hand. It's better that way. So remember, if you notice our style, it has the other fabric all around it, all around the hem part, both the side. So once you curved it like this, you go ahead and measure. You are going to measure every curve up to the shoulder point. You are going to measure it and cut enough fabric that is going to be enough to hem, to join everything round there. So for this one, I'm drawing slanted like this. This is for the sake of the hip, to be able to cover the hip and equally to give you free movement, okay, so that you will not be joining together. You've noticed we did not add any hip measurement on this, so we are not going to sew it straight. If you sew it straight, someone with a big hip, it might end up obstructing. So that's why you have to stitch it in a slanted way, or you can go ahead to take the hip measurement, apply the hip measurements, and then work with it to be able to shaping it downwards, or just go ahead from your bust point that you have already added at least 1 inch or 1.5 inch excess, straight, just draft it straight down in a slanted format, not in a straight way. And please, on your bust point measurement, you are not using your exact bust point. you add like 1 inch to it. Let's assume your bust place measurement is 36. You add 1 inch, make it 37. That is what we use, so that you have an ease for it. So guys, after I'm through with that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. Can you see now? I've finished the cutting. I've marked the straight line I'm going to be using to join the sides to finish our butterfly. And guys, can you see how beautiful this is already looking? To me, I'm already seeing beauty. Guys, at this particular juncture, if you know you are enjoying this video so far, like you have gotten something that you have not been able to understand elsewhere, please just hit the like button and drop your comments, okay, so that some other person can see it. And if you have not subscribed, please don't forget to do so. So at this particular point, I ended up cutting exactly on the dart line. I cut everything out, but where you are cutting yours, cut out from the line of the extra, the ½ inch you added above the dart. That is for the joining, so that you are going to use that one to act as your seam. So don't cut the exact dart line. I hope this is well explained. So you can see how beautiful this is looking after I finish cutting it out. Now the next thing you will do to start sewing this is not difficult, because we are through with the cutting of this beautiful Bubu butterfly dress. So all you need to do is you go ahead and get a bias or a facing and turn the necklines. No, the first thing you do is you take this one and cut the back side. The back side is going to be having just like 1 inch below. 1 inch. Let's assume you have used 4x4 on the front. Then on the back side you use 1 inch depth and 4 inch wide. So the width will be the same measurement, but the depth will be 1 inch or ½ inch if you want on the back side. Then after you're through with that, go ahead and turn the necklines with a bias or a facing. Then after you finish turning it with a bias or a facing, you also go ahead and join the shoulders with ½ inch. After you join the shoulders, you will now take your fabric, the one you want to use to do the hemming part, to design it on the down part. Go ahead and sew it together, sew it round, pleat it round. Then after you finish pleating it round, by then you already prepared the fabric to have a neat finishing with a hemming and everything. So once you pleat it round, you will go ahead and on this particular straight line that I've ruled here, you just sew a straight line downwards. So whether it's a short or long Bubu, the same thing applies. Just stitch it downwards straight like this, as the line the way you can see it, stitch it downwards straight, and from there your Bubu is set. Please take note, that part you are stitching, you are doing that at the back. That is the shoulder that you are doing it at your back. You use your back to do that. Don't forget, the only part you are stitching in the front is the straight line downwards, which is the major reason why this particular cutting is usually good on the front. That is when the chalking of it, so that you can go ahead and know where your measurement is starting and where it's not starting. Okay, so that is why. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed this video so far. Thank you so much for sticking with me to this moment. Don't forget to share. See you guys in my next video. Bye.